Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I am Jordan. We are coming off the heels of that Ballyhoo Irish whiskey, and so I decided I'm going to do something I actually want to do that I'm going to enjoy. So we have the Lagavulin Distillers editions, the ones that I currently have, which is the 2016, 2017, which is the 2017 No. The 2016 is the 200th year anniversary from 1816 to 2016. Lagavulin 2017, 2023. Now you'll see these two actually have the years on the front of the boxes and the bottles. The 2023 does not have the year anywhere on it. Also, the size of the box has shrunk quite a bit here, but we're going to do, whoa, my heart just skipped a beat. We're going to do exactly what we've done with all of our other lineups. We're going to pour these, we're going to mix them around, we're going to blind taste test them, and we're going to find out who comes out on top winning. So this is glass D, C, and B, and we are going to put, well, that is really red in there. We are going to put these pitted against each other to find out who, or which year I should say, I think is the best year, which unfortunately we're getting pretty down there on several of these, so hopefully they have not oxidized too much here. But this way we can get a couple more videos here with the bottles that I currently got. And honestly, I mean, come on, it's just Lagavulin, number one, so hard to go wrong with Lagavulin. And the Distillers editions have been quite excellent to me. And so, let's see who has the best one here. Now, for reference, we have prices on these. Bought them in many different places. So the 2016, I paid $124.99. I bought that in Gillette. I also bought the 2017, which was also in Gillette, and I bought that for $119.99. And then the 2023, I bought online from Blackwell's Wine and Spirits. Paid more money for it. $145 I paid for that one. I will say, when it comes to Lagavulin, I am willing to shell out a little bit of extra money. However, that $120 mark and under is where I'd prefer to see it. But in a lot of places, the standard Lagavulin 16 is running $120. Now, I personally am not going to pay that amount, but I know many people do end up paying that, and that's unfortunate, but kind of the world we live in. So there you go. 145, $119.99, so call that 120, and $124.99, call it $125. Not bad. So the 16, the oldest, the 2016, paid $125. The 2017, I paid $120, and the 2023, I paid $145. And just for reference, the Distillers editions are all finished. So this is double matured in Pedro Jimenez casks and American oak casks. They're all double matured, for at least according to them. And then also on here, so this is kind of the thing that gets me a little bit about this 2023, is that there's no real information on it, but the 2017, the 2016, it says batch number, it says distilled in 2001, bottled in 2017, like it has all that extra information. The 2023 has none of that. So, little bit questionable as to what is going on in there, but it is what it is. All right, so Lex, I like to mix these things up, and I know you're saying, oh, how hard is it to keep track of something? Well, it's pretty hard when you're not really paying attention to what you're doing. I don't really know, and more importantly, I don't really care what one is what. I'm just gonna drink through them and tell you what I feel and what I think. So, golly, I love peated Scotch. I love Lagavulin. Savory smokehouse. Boy, that almost has a little bit. Boy, most people are not gonna like this that I describe it like that. It has that sweet manure smell of like cattle, uh, um, of like dairy cows in the summertime when they're grazing out in the pasture. That kind of slightly sour, sweet manure. Um, Iodine, peat. Boy, that manure is really standing out to me. Now a lot of people go, "Oh my gosh, that's disgusting," blah 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 blah, but really not terrible. Like it's not an assault on the olfactory, as they say. There's a lot of sweetness underneath of it, some caramel, um, malt. That's kind of where that manure and malt are coming together. Kind of those two smells. All right, going in on the taste. Oh, just so good. Super well balanced. Light smoke is a through line from start to finish, but it's kind of a light across the top and bottom where there's this really sweet raisin, dark fruit, um, savory like smokehouse meat. Um, it's just good. So good. Okay, we're just gonna put that out on number one right there. See what number two comes in. Okay, now this is more butterscotch on the nose. Get not as much smoke. A little bit more malt. A little more. Yeah, there's more sweet. Butterscotch is the right term. This one's more creamy. Filled the palate a little bit more. This one on the back end is a little more dry. The smoke is more of a dry campfire smoke on the back end of it. The sweetness is all up front in this. About mid palate, the ethanol kicks in, and it dries out, and then it becomes like a dry Slivovitz, a dry plum brandy type of character. A little bit more oak in there as well. Yeah, and keep in mind when I'm doing this is three different scotches back to back to back. Each sip, I lose more and more of that oak, so or oak, more and more of that smoke. I get a lot more of the difference. So it'll be interesting when I go this way and then come back the other direction because each sip is impacting the next one. So I'm actually going to put this as number two. I like that one a little bit more. It seemed creamier and more well-rounded. This one almost seemed a little bit younger. And the palette was more fragmented in how it presented. This was much more start to finish, just one, like the flavors kept going, but they're all right at the same level. It was just a better experience on that. So number three, but still really good. Once again, that maltiness, sugary sweet, like malty brown sugar, like dark dense caramel malt. Not too much smoke coming out of the glass. I was gonna say some dark fruit, like overripe plum, maybe like a prune. A little bit of that manure in there. No smoke whatsoever coming out of the glass on the nose on this one. Okay, going in on the taste. Okay, so this is definitely last place. Everything's separated out. I'm gonna put this one in second. There, and this is hard to pick out because as it stands, there's more flavors in this. It was a lot sweeter. There was like a syrupy sweetness in there. Um, a light fruit. That smoke picked up. It was definitely a campfire wood smoke in there. A On the back end, there was a little bit of brininess, a little bit of bitter tannic in there, just a slight bit mixed with like an ashiness going into that smoke. Um, I would say this had about 6 to 8 flavors. This one only had maybe like 4 or 5. Um, but again, the cohesiveness, the creaminess, and the viscosity, the oily clinginess of this one on the first go beats this one, even though this has more complexity and more flavors in it. This one started with that creaminess, and then it quickly dried out as that kind of bitter smoke kind of came through and dried up on my tongue. But yeah, that's kind of what's driving these, like the cohesion of that flavor profile. I would say this was like 3 or 4 sweet notes, and then there was a separation, and the finish was a distinct separation, whereas this was a non-distinct flow of flavor from beginning to end, where it just kept changing and morphing without there being like this sharp break between flavors and then 2 totally different experiences. This one was 2 experiences. There was the beginning and then the end, and then this one was like 5 different experiences because each note was very spiky and not so cohesive. So I'm going to take a quick sip. See how we do. Give it a second. Get that water off the palate a little bit. We're going to go back. But as it stands, we have 1, 2, and 3. I'm kind of curious if maybe this isn't the 2023, and if the reason why they don't have the age statement on here is because maybe it is not as old. Trying to double down. Master Distiller hand selected a small number of casks for a double maturation in Pedro Mena's seasoned casks, accents, blah, blah, blah. So, nowhere on here is there an age statement, which it kind of irks me that I paid $145 for this. Now, I don't know for a fact that this is this one. I won't know till the end, but I'm guessing that it is because this tastes younger than these two, less complex. There's no age statement on this bottle. There's no other information on here. I kind of feel like Lagavulin, like Laphroaig moved into the lore, and Laphroaig lore is, like an annual release. This Distillers edition is becoming an annual release. And I wonder if they didn't cheat us slightly and put younger whiskey in here. I don't know any of this for fact. I am just purely guessing. If that is this, I'm guessing that's what the deal is, because there's no batch information on here, no bottle information, no year that it was distilled. These ones very proudly say, distilled 2001, bottled 2017, so that's a 16-year-old whiskey. This one, distilled in 2000, bottled in 2016, 16-year-old whiskey. This doesn't say any of that. So I'm curious. All right, let our tongue get the water off. Go back the other direction. Hey, on the nose, it's much cleaner now. I get that earthy peatness, that swampy, boggy, not smoke, but earth in the back. A little bit of that manure smell still. So this one and that one had that sharp manure. If you've ever stepped into a dairy barn, you'd know what I'm talking about. And that's kind of dominating. It's like the cusp of iodine or medicinal stuff. It's kind of got a sharp, pungent in the back of your nose bite. And it's not the ethanol. Okay, on the taste, that time smoke was forward in a very nice, meaningful way, not pungent, not bitter. And it's a through line start to finish. It was there in a very noticeable and meaningful way. And it was like campfire smoke or wood smoke and sweet fruit up front, sweet dark fruit, or like I could even be convinced that it was something like I keep coming back to plum, but um, probably more along the lines of a white grape raisin, um, kind of in there, and then it's sweetened up into a nice honey and a caramel, and then it finishes with that savory, meaty, smoky. Um, I'm gonna leave that one in 2 until I come over here and see what happens. Go to what was previously a third. Now that just got really candy sweet caramel on the nose. A little bit of ethanol on the back end of that. But yeah, caramel. Like it's more caramel on the nose, but then there's a slight butterscotchiness on the back end of it. But yeah, Christmas caramel right there, or caramel or whatever. And that's kind of all that I'm getting out of the glass here. Going in on the taste. Okay. A lot sweeter that time. There was bad to say because I'm already so far into. There's like no smoke coming out anymore. I'm so acclimated to it, which really kind of kills it because I got smoke on this, but I'm not on that. There was like a syrupy sweetness up front, um, like a honey, a very light caramel drizzle kind of a thing, um, and then it kind of gets acrid or bitter on the back end. That tannic bitterness of oak or smoke, um, ashy, um, kind of comes through. I get no real smoke flavor, although now I do, but now I'm questioning whether that smoke is carryover from this to that, even though I know, they're both peated. So it's kind of hard to, we'll have to leave that smoke off to say. I will say this, the peat smoke presents the same in all three of these as a wood smoke, a campfire. Um, it's more pleasant now after having drank it, but like from the mid palate through the end of the finish, it just had that. There's on the very back end of it, there's just this biting bitterness from the middle of that mid palate all the way through the end, along with all the other notes. And again, all the notes were very spiky. This was very cohesive, start to front, very easy to drink, creamy. It just tastes like younger whiskey to me. And again, I don't know, but I'm guessing. Watch me be completely wrong. I don't know, but I am guessing that this is this, and the reason there's no age statement or anything regarding age on here is because it is probably younger. Just guessing. Leaving that in third. Puts it in a battle between these two for first and second. This one was my first choice. Okay, on the nose, I'd say less pleasant on the nose. This one has more oomph behind it, more density and creaminess. This one, like confectioner sugar. That manure, man. I got manure on the brain for some reason, and I just like that's all I smell in this glass and that glass. Yeah, it's like walking into my aunt and uncle's dairy barn. Now, for a lot of people, that's an off-putting and terrible thought to think that that's the smell, but for me, childhood memories, like just working on the farm, and I have a lot of good memories associated with that. So to me, it's not a bad thing. Just part of life. Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, this smells like scraping down the the cow shit off the alley there in the milking stanchions. Like interesting. All right, going in on the taste. Head to head, these two are so close. I'm gonna give it to this one. Again, creamy, sweet. I almost get like this zestiness, like never had it, but I would assume like a tangerine zest, like this tangerine flavor, but it's like bright, and shiny, and boom in there. A little bit of a baking spice and a very nice sweetness on the back, start, middle, and back end. So on the back side of all the notes that I taste, there's a nice sweetness there that's complemented by a light smoke that's not dominating, and almost like a fizziness this time. That's why I'm saying that zest is almost, it's like that, like a bright sourness, or like a sparkling water quality on my tongue. No idea where that's coming from. Never have gotten that before. But man, there was a candy when I was a kid. It was absolutely disgusting. That was some kind of citrus candy, hard candy, and in the inside of it there was like a powder or some kind of, I want to think they're called like fizzies or fuzzies or something like that. That they're a hard candy, and on the inside had something that when you broke it and put it in your mouth, it would foam. And they were like the most god awful flavors. Um, they were not good at all. But there was a citrus or an orange one, and this kind of has just the slightest reminiscent of that. I have no idea where that memory came from. Came in like a long packet. I think they might have been like individually sealed candies in a long strip. Um, I don't know how I got on that tangent, but I'm gonna give it to this one. This is 1, 2, and 3 pretty distinctively. So let's see what we got here. That's D. So A, B, C, D. D is this. So I was completely wrong. What the heck is this? D. D is my 2017. I'll put these up here. Interesting. Boy, I was so wrong on that. 2016. Okay, so 1 is the 2023. So if you can find the Lagavulin Distillers Edition 2023, definitely go out and pick it up. My winner here by a neck. And then for some reason, if you can find the 2016 Distillers Edition, which I highly doubt you will, but if you can, pick it up. Totally worth it. And then the 2017, still totally worth it. It's just not in the same realm as these. This tastes younger, but clearly it's not because it is a 16-year-old. But man, there you have it. The winner of the Lagavulin Distillers Edition of the 3 that I own, the 2023. Wow, talk about making a fool of yourself. I was really, really convinced that this was that one. There you go. Drop in the comments down below what you think, what I got right, wrong, or indifferent, what your experience with any of these are. I highly recommend. Lagavulin is just a great pathway to go down if you're looking to get into Islay Scotch. The Lagavulin 16 is probably the quintessential Islay Scotch. Lagavulin 16. The only reason I even got into peated whiskey, Islay whiskey, Parks and Rec, Nick Offerman with his oh my gosh, right, Ron Swanson was his character. You know, and then for some reason, my wife bought me a bottle for, I think it was my birthday. It might have been Christmas, but I think it was my birthday. It was only like 2 years ago or 3 years ago that she got it for me. And man, I have been on a peat kick ever since. And my wife agrees. She loves all of these. It's something that you either love or hate, I would say. But if you've tried it in the past, like a Johnny Walker or something like that, some kind of blended scotch, something that has like a little bit of smoke to it, I'm gonna say scrap that. Try and find a single malt, age stated, Islay whiskey. You can, yes, they're an investment. They're gonna, I mean, that's not true. You can get like the McClellans, which is, might be $30. I found them in Wisconsin for $17. Granted, they are 3 years old, okay? Young whiskey compared to a 16-year-old. But for 3-year-old whiskey, man, they're excellent, and at $17 to $32, it's a great way to dip your toe into peated whiskeys. So get the McClelland's Islay Scotch. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones I have. Like I have a Lagavulin 8, and like there's the like Lafroig Select and Lafroig Select and Quarter Cask are both right around that $50 mark, maybe a little bit under, maybe up into the $60 mark, which is quite a bit to spend considering, you can get two really nice bottles of bourbon for, $30 a piece. So if you're not sure, and then there's the Ardbeg Wee Beastie, which I want to say was like, it's only a 5-year, but it's I want to say it was like $40. Again, that's quite a bit to spend, but I encourage you to dip your toes in. Like I said, these are all over $100. That's a little bit expensive to try out, but I know in Wisconsin at the Total Wines on the south side of Milwaukee, I picked up a Lagavulin 16 for $66 in 20. Let's see, it was when we bought our car, 2021. I think it was 2021. So there are places that sell it for a reasonably cheap price. I'm sure now it's probably gone up a little bit. Let's say it's $70 for a Lagavulin 16. Totally worth it. So drop in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. That's my assessment. So 2023 came out on top. I guess now maybe it is worth $145 since it beat out the other two. Who knows? Can't go wrong with any of them. Love them all. Thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. This might be the last video that I have for a while. Definitely check out, if you haven't already, all of my other videos. I got 200, almost 300 videos at this point. Boy, this is going to be like video 294, 5, something like that. So almost 300. Maybe we'll do something special for my 300th. Maybe we'll get my wife on camera or my hunting partner, or who knows? Maybe we'll get somebody else to come on camera with me. But I got a lot of videos out, and so I got elk season coming up. I got a bunch of house projects I'm working on. I got to go to North Dakota to go pick up my new bird dog from my hunting partner. And a bunch of stuff. But my wife is going to be traveling here pretty soon, and hopefully she picks up a bottle. I'm going to, for elk camp, I will be driving through Casper, so I'm probably going to pick up a couple of bottles, see what they have. We'll see if they have any of these Bunnahabhains sitting around. I can find any of these. We originally picked this up in Casper for like $56 or $57. And then my wife picked that current bottle up in Montana for, I think she paid $60-something for it. So we'll see if they have one of those. I just finished last night my McClelland's Islay. I get the jugs, the 175s, the handles, for $38, which is a stupid cheap price. And that's kind of my everyday drinker. If I just want a cheap Islay whiskey, I keep that in the cabinet upstairs so that I can go and drink that anytime I want. But Casper seems at the liquor shed. Shout out to them. They seem to have one or two bottles almost every time I go in there of something different. So try and pick those up. We'll see. Last time my wife was there, they had a Bunnahabhain. Was it 18? For like $175. She ended up picking up the Wyoming Whiskey 10th year anniversary for $175, which I'm kind of glad she did, because everywhere else, like right now, I've seen it here in town for $225, which is just insane. Like, it's a good whiskey, but it's not that good by any means. And if you watch my review of the Wyoming whiskey bourbons that I have, the standard everyday off the shelf small batch 1 out, and that's like $35 here. So yeah, there's something to that as well. So anyways, stay tuned. We'll see what happens when my wife comes back from the Midwest. Maybe she'll have a bottle. My hunting partner, when I meet up with him in September, I'll see if he can grab a couple bottles of something and bring them out. Actually, I owe him, these Wellers are for him, so I got these Weller 107s for him. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks for watching. You have yourselves a great day. That's enough rambling for one time, and we'll catch you in the next video.